Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jim McDaniel at URL Insurance Group. I'm here with my associate, Sarah Ortega, to do a webinar for you today on some new website tools for brokers that we launched along with our new website about a week ago. Just a couple house cleaning items here. If you guys can hear me okay, go ahead and raise your hand. There should be a little button where you can raise your hand on the screen. All right, great. So you can see my screen and hear me okay. Thank you, everybody. Okay, first of all, I want to thank everybody for their time for coming to attend this webinar today. I know the Medicare AEP just began, and that's obviously a super busy time for agents that write Medicare, and then we have the FFM open enrollment coming up at the beginning of November. So I know it's a busy time, and hopefully some of the tools we build into this new site will help you during your busy time that you're either in or going to be approaching soon. As we go through the webinar today, if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the control panel there. We will read them all aloud at the end, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them all for you. Before I get into the main part of the webinar today, I'm just going to give a little bit of background on who we are. We are URL Insurance Group. We're an insurance marketing brokerage based in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We have been in the business for almost 30 years, and we like to say that we are in the people business. We have 5 different departments: annuity solutions, employee benefits, health plan options, life markets, and Medicare offerings. So without any further ado, I'll give a little overview of what we're going to kind of cover today. And so the first things we'll kind of look at that Sarah Ortega will cover are some of the features that we built into the new website. Some of the little bit of the technology, not too geek of what we've built into it. It is a secure website. All the pages are secure that you'll browse to. This new platform that we've adopted for the website is quicker page-to-page browsing, so it should be a pretty quick getting to the page that you're looking to get to. We've reorganized the navigation bar a little bit based on feedback from some of our partners, and we hope that you know how you use the site, it will be set up for you for that way. And the other thing that we put a lot of time and effort into is how mobile friendly our site is. We know a lot of times people are accessing the site on the road, on a tablet, on a phone, and as you'll see in this webinar, we have built it out so that it functions in all those different formats. I'm going to cover some of the tools that we've added into the site. We have a quick link section. I'll go over our newly launched with this website Search by Insurance product, which is a pretty neat tool that we developed based on feedback. And then we have some different combined pages for quoting, product, and lead vendors, which we'll kind of cover and show you where you can get information on that. And then something that's not totally new to the site, but it's an important feature we think is sometimes missed, is the My URL section of the site, where you can get custom information on cases you've submitted, contracts that you have with us, trip information, and we'll go over how to resolve any kind of commission issues that you might run into. So without any further ado, I'll get out of this PowerPoint and I'll bring Sarah in here to give us an overview on some of the new features.
All right, thank you, Jim. I'd like to get us started today by displaying some of the mobile-friendly features that we have on the site. So if you look at your screen, what you'll see is we've optimized the website to work well on desktop, tablet, and mobile devices, and this is really on the fly. So if you'll watch the browser, you know, your content is actually going to change as you scale it down. And it's just to suit whatever needs you happen to be in. And you'll notice that the menu will actually change as well. You'll see little content shifts depending on what you would need to access in that mode. So, you know, like if you're using the website on your phone, you want to really use it in a very stripped down, minor kind of way. You want to get exactly where you need to go, which is why the quick links stay, you know, the upcoming training stays. But all of the information is still exactly where you need it to be. So up in the upper left-hand corner, there is a little menu icon. And if you click it, you can still get all of the information, but we've made sure that your visual is very clean and organized. So now we'll switch back over and we'll go back to desktop view and switch to the navigation. So you'll recognize that it's all about the same that you'd had before. It's just a little bit cleaner. That's the whole goal of the new look. Everything is just a little bit cleaner, a little bit better organized. So we have our basic department buttons, and underneath each of the department buttons is everything that you would need for that department specifically. So say I went to Medicare Offerings Lead Programs. I could click that button, and then every option that I saw in that submenu, they're all still up here. So if I'm navigating within the Medicare Offerings program, like I can go anywhere that I would want to be. And then to get to any other department, I could quickly come back up here and just click to move through. Next, I'm going to cover the agent resources. Now we have the My URL Agent Center, which Jim will be covering later. Then we have our Events and Training tab. This is a new tab. We've grouped the event calendar, the training calendar, and the webinar archive under this tab. All of those are useful tools for on the road. Some people don't know that we have a webinar archive. This is our YouTube channel. Every webinar that we host here will get uploaded there, usually within a day or two. And then we have our incentive programs with our E&O coverage, lead programs, and rewards, licensing and contracting, marketing tools, news, product information, product search, quoting tools. Now I will hand the phone back over to Jim.
All right, Sarah, thanks a lot. So what I'll cover here are some of the new tools and some of the things that I had talked about in the beginning. From our homepage that you're looking at here, if you scroll down to the bottom, one of the new sections that we added was the quick links section. We did that so that the tools that people kind of wanted to see up front, maybe didn't want to delve through some navigation bars to get to. It's kind of an easy access from our homepage, obviously getting contracted. And then the next thing that I'm going to cover that is part of the quick links section is the product search. And this was developed based on feedback. We work with hundreds of different carriers with thousands of different products, and sometimes narrowing down who has what can certainly be difficult. And this was kind of spawned from somebody that came to our site and said, I'm looking for an individual critical illness carrier. Who does that? And the search features we had before didn't really lend themselves to finding that right away. So just with that amount of information, you can drop this down. You could search it in here to search through this list. Or if I go down to individual critical illness, I click show, pretty quickly it brings up the 4 critical illness individual carriers we have that you can get directly to it. So if you saw that and you clicked on Assurity, it's going to take you right to Assurity's product page with all their brochures, product guides, applications. If you need to get contracted, there's a link on each product page to get contracted with them. So it's really a good tool. We kind of build it along the lines of if you're going out and searching online for a car, and you sort by the manufacturer of the car and then the model of the car, and it may get built out even more down the road with more selective features that you could choose from, but it could be as broad as by the department. It'll start to narrow it down from there, and if I know I'm looking for a whole life product, I can narrow it down even more, and it'll show the 4 carriers that we offer that are tagged with the whole life, and that would get you to their page. The second area that I'm going to cover from that's actually it for the quick links. The next area is we're going to take a look at some of the product pages. So within each department, if I go to the product page for each one, it's going to give me all the different types of carriers that we have for each department. The other area where you can see that, maybe I'll show the example of the health department too. So we can see individual cancer critical illness on one page, dental carriers on one page. So each department has a page like this, and this is kind of where the product search pulls its information from. The other area that I wanted to cover with this is under incentive programs, agent resources incentive programs is our lead programs. And from this lead programs page, you can see the different departments, and by clicking on any of them, it'll get you to our kind of lead vendors main page. And from there you can see the different vendors we work with, the types of leads that they can send out for you or generate for you, who the rep is we work with at that carrier, and if you were to contact any of them, be sure to let them know that you're a partner of ours and that you work with URL. There's sometimes some different incentives built in for being a partner of ours that we've negotiated with them. And some departments also have some co-op lead vendor money based on production and different things. So, you know, before you were to order anything, it always makes sense to reach out to a department head here and see if that would be something that we could assist you with. The last area that I'm going to cover today is the My URL Agent Center. And you can get into this by either logging in from our homepage. I'm already currently logged in as our test user here. And I'll go into that and give you some information on what you can see. So from the My URL section, you can check cases that you've submitted with us. If I click on cases, it's going to pop up a window. It'll show me, it'll start by showing me cases that are in the status of transferred to paid. You can change this to different statuses. If you've been with us for a long time, you may have page after page. So you may want to narrow it down to a certain status, a certain type of case, you know, date entered between a certain time, or even down to the specific carriers that we work with. Hit submit, it'll kind of give you a listing of every case that we show in here. This is as real time as we get it in our system. Sometimes business is submitted directly to the carriers. We don't necessarily know about it for a month until, you know, we get some kind of report. So when that report would come in, then it would go into here. So it's not a real-time sync with the carriers. You know that they often take time to get back to you on a lot of things anyways, but this will be as up-to-date as information as we have. One other feature of being in here and looking at your cases, you can click on your client, and their client name would be there, not test client. If in the process of the application, if we've gathered any additional information such as home phone, email, any of that kind of information, that would all be included in here. You know, health information, what kind of plan it was, their policy number, etc. And you can always go into here and look at that data. One other feature from this, as well as the contracted carriers, which I'll go to next, is these can all be exported into an Excel spreadsheet and then pushed up into your content management system or CRM or whatever you have to manage your clients in. It'll export any additional information that was at that next level down from here. So that's a good tool that a lot of agents that are using it have given us great feedback on. The other area that's similar is the Check My URL Contracts, and this will pop open a window, show you what carriers all time essentially that you have contracted with us. Just because a carrier is listed here does not mean that you are necessarily an active producing agent with that carrier. For example, if MedStar, you know, you see that there, you see a start date of, we'll say it's 2005, and you know you haven't written business with them since 2006, most likely they probably have terminated you for lack of production. But it is a starting point. If you were interested in working with them again, you'd at least have what your writing number was, and you could, you know, begin that relationship again. If it's Blue Cross of Northeastern PA, you're writing that day in and day out, that's most likely going to be an accurate writing number for you, and you can also export these out as well. The other area that's important here is Check My Commissions. And when you click this takes you over to our commissions page, our commission department headed up by Brandy Coleman. You can come here to see commission statements for carriers that we pay you on, and those are typically health carriers. They're listed down here: Capital Blue Cross, Highmark, MedStar, United Concordia, and that's mostly on the individual and group health and the Medicare side of things. I know it's very few and far between that carriers mess up when they pay you, but you can you can come here to submit commission issues, and this is really the best way to get into Brandy's queue of issues that she solves. If you go into here, submit a commission or payment issue, and it's kind of broken down into 3 categories that she will assist you with. If it's a health exchange commission issue, individual and group, or Medicare, and they kind of have specific questions that each one will ask you based on the information that she needs to go and research the problem and make everybody whole again. So that kind of covers most of the new features of the site, some of the things we've cleaned up, how we've reorganized some different areas. It doesn't look like we have any questions, and I guess we did a great job. If anybody does have any questions, any features that you'd like to see demoed right now, feel free to send us a message over. Sarah, anything else that you'd like to add to about working on the site, or no? Okay, all right. Well, I've kept it short and sweet here today. It's the last call for questions. If anybody has any, please send them over. If not, we're going to go ahead. All right. I got a couple questions coming across here. So Gregory says he's had a little trouble with the site working in Internet Explorer. And one of the early issues we noticed is where there's a feature in older versions of Internet Explorer that doesn't display the site correctly. And Gregory, I'm happy to follow up with you directly after this. The site does work. I'm using it in Google Chrome right now, but it does work in mostly all browsers. And I see you state there that it does work in Firefox, and it absolutely does. All right, here's some more questions rolling in. So Joe asks, what is live on health? That's a good question. When we were kind of prepping for this webinar today, we brought up a product information page, and I'll show you that as an example of kind of what we have. As the carriers get us information, let me get this thing out of the way here. We will post, so for instance, Aetna, you'll see we kind of have it built out already. Obviously, all the 2015 stuff is there, but as 2016 information comes in, we'll continue to build this out with the information, and that's really holds true on the Medicare side as well as the individual health side. Vivian asks, where can you find individual applications? Applications will, for the health side, typically always be on the product information page. So here's, yeah, when they're available. Sometimes it would maybe be a link to a carrier site. I'm going to put us on speaker here so Sarah can chime in with me.
When available, the apps will always be posted to the product information page. If you don't see them there, feel free to reach out to your rep here with URL, and we can always find that information for you, or they can lead you in the right direction. But the most up-to-date information that we have is always listed on our website.
One thing with one maybe caveat to that that's a little different on the life and annuity side is if you're using our term quote engine, you know, there's kind of a form engine that you can use to get applications for that, and you can get to that by coming into the life quoting tool, picking the carrier, you're looking for new business, the state that you might be in, the product, and then product name, and then that's going to give you the paper PDF forms. If you run a quote also on the life term quoting tool, you know, you'll narrow it down. It'll give you 10 quotes at the end. From that quoting page will be links to the applications and everything that you would need. I wasn't sure if, oh, I think we answered 2 questions with that one. That's great. Let me see. All right, so I haven't used it. Walter, I'll have somebody follow up with you on the Affordable Care Act quoting tool. I know Deb Wilkinson has some solutions for that. We do have we do have some enrollment platforms that you can use that will calculate subsidies and those kinds of things, and then kind of assist with the enrollment process. But I'll make a note for her to give you a follow-up call from that. Anybody else have any questions? Good stuff so far. Okay, yeah, we'll send up. Joe asked for a subsidy tool as well, so we'll send some links out. There'll be a follow-up email that'll go out. There'll be a link to this webinar if you happen to come in late and miss some of it. But we'll follow up with some of these subsidy tools, some of the calculators, and I'm at extension 144 here. I'm always happy to sit down and do a one-on-one webinar, walk through the site with you, and Sarah Ortega is able to do that with you as well. So with that being said, I'm going to end the webinar. We appreciate everyone's business. Hope your Medicare AEP is going well and you have a successful FFM open enrollment here coming up. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.